What's up, everybody? Welcome to episode number 31 of 10K on the Bay, my journey to 10,000 active listings on eBay. This is part two of my series of how to make a full-time living on eBay. If you haven't seen episode one, you should probably go back to that, or if you're a little bit further in your eBay selling career, maybe you want to start here. But we're basically going to do 10 steps every day to get us closer to getting a full-time income on eBay. Okay, so step number 11, I'm going to recommend you buy the domain of your store. Now this is not super critical, but I like to have it just in case later if I want to create a Shopify store or I want to use that handle to direct traffic, I would just like to buy it. So as you guys know, in the last episode, I called my company the Low Key Husky, and I am going to operate this as a sole proprietorship for this example, but you can do an LLC or an S Corp, but I'm just trying to keep it simple for this first part. So buy the domain. So I went to GoDaddy.com and I purchased the domain lowkeyhusky.us. And I picked .us because right now it doesn't matter. I don't think the .com really makes a difference because I'm not driving any traffic to that website, so it doesn't matter. So I paid $4 for that. And I have it right here, and then I also have the receipt sent to my email. So I want you guys to try to keep all of your receipts in one place just to keep it easier. I wish I had done this when I started my other eBay stores. It would have made my life a lot easier. Okay, so now we're done with step 11. Step 12 is going to be set up a separate bank account with at least $100. I'm not going to create a business account because I'm just going to operate this business as a sole proprietorship. So I'm going to go to Chase Bank, which is the bank that I use. I'm not affiliated with them. And I'm going to open a new account today for $100 right after I'm done with this video. And I'm going to use that account for every single purchase just to keep it simple. So later I can, if I don't do anything else, I can just give my PayPal account and this bank account to my CPA and they'll be able to figure out how much I owe in taxes. So step number 12 is set up a separate bank account. You can actually do this first. You can go to a bank account. If you're going to do sole proprietorship, you can always convert to an LLC or an S Corp later and enter in $100 or $200 or whatever you want to start with into your bank account. So I'm going to go there today and also get a debit card so I can use that for purchases and show you guys how to do it. So that's now done. Step 13, I want you guys to know, don't quit your day job. You need this money. You need extra money to build your eBay store up. So right now I do Facebook marketing sort of full time, and I'm going to show you guys how to quit your day job by replacing it with other income first. So I'm making $5,000 a month on Facebook before tax, and I need to replace that so I can basically work on eBay full time. And how I'm going to do that is I'll show you some different ways I plan on replacing that income. And it looks like my YouTube channel is growing, and there's also some people who may want some individualized help, and that should help me get to the $5,000 income that I need so that I can focus sort of on a couple different projects. One, my 10,000 item store, which is coming along nicely, and the second series, which is this, which is showing you how to go from $200 to making a full-time living on eBay. I don't know if we can pull it off, but let's try. So step 13 is don't quit your day job. Please keep it. I actually even recommend getting a part-time job if you're not employed right now, just so you can have that extra capital. I really, really wish I had done that when I first started, but I went balls to the wall and I started being an entrepreneur before having a steady kind of income, and I had 6 months of savings that basically burned through. My runway wasn't very long. I wish I had kept a part-time job. That was really tough for me. So if I can stress anything in this whole video series, it's please don't quit your job if you don't have to. Just grind it out. If I had done that, I wouldn't have done things in such a hurry, which would have saved me a lot of time and pain over the long run. So hopefully I can save you guys years of heartache and avoid going into debt like I did when I first started my first few businesses. Okay, so step number 14, I want you guys to get all the social media handles for your store. This might be something that you think about. I don't think your store name matters too much unless you're building a brand like I am. So Low Key Husky is going to be my brand for my eBay store. So I want you guys to get a Facebook page. So right here, go to your normal Facebook, go to pages, create a new page. This is a local business page. And the reason why you want to do this is because you want to run Instagram and Facebook ads later, and you need a page to power it. So go to Facebook, create the page. Then the next one is Instagram. So I created that yesterday. I'm sorry, earlier today. It's been a long day. And I created my first post, which is I have my first, yay, my first feedback. So I just started Instagram here. It's a really good place to network and meet other people. Plus, we're going to run ads later, which is going to be awesome and be able to drive traffic to our eBay store. Okay, next is Pinterest. I do not know how to use Pinterest, but I know it's a great way to get traffic. And so I am going to sign up for it. Anyway, it's available right now. I have the Low Key Husky on every single platform, and the website's called the lowkeyhusky.us. I own all of that right now as the brand. It's going to come in useful later. So those are the four major ones: Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and Pinterest. You can do Snapchat also. You might as well grab that. I don't use Snapchat very much because I think that Zuckerberg is going to crush Snapchat with Facebook stories and Instagram stories. I mean, even Microsoft Excel has stories now. So this new live sharing stuff is on fire. And I think that I'm just going to focus on those four. You could be like Gary Vee and also get Snapchat and do everything. But for me, I'm just going to focus on these four. That's step number 14. I have all these handles. Once you sign up for them, your email is going to blow up with basically spam. So make sure that this is why you want a separate email that's separate from your normal, so you're not getting constantly interrupted by their promotions. So that's set up there for the social media handles. Also, you're going to have to go in there and confirm your handles with probably your cell phone. So just be aware that you're going to have to double confirm for security. Okay, so now once you have your social media handles done, you can see on my social, there's no graphics or anything. It says blank, right? So I'm going to create a brand called Low Key Husky. So I need logo design, an eBay store banner, and I'm going to use this banner on Twitter, on Facebook, on everything. It's nice that it's not going to be the same shape, so I'm probably going to have to pay my graphic designer to adjust it. If you want, you can use a service like Fiverr. It's going to produce a lot lower quality of a graphic design, but it's very, very cheap. You can spend literally $5 and get some of these things made. I'm going to use my friend Glenn Zubia, who's awesome, and he created the branding for 10K on the Bay, and he's going to create the branding for this company also. If you guys want to work with Glenn, his email is hustlerhacks@gmail.com. I'll put that in the description below. Please put 10K on the Bay sent you in the title. That way he knows where that traffic is coming from. But his work is awesome. I'll show you guys the process of designing that. And so what I want to create for graphic design is I want a square logo design, which I'm going to plug in my Twitter, my Instagram, my Pinterest, and also I'm going to use this husky. I just happen to like huskies. I'm going to put that also as a sticker form on my packages. It's just for branding. So I'm going to create a 3-inch sticker to put on my packages, a store banner for my eBay store, the husky in general, and then I want to create a business thank you card. So I want to include a thank you card in all of my packages that says, thank you so much for your business. Please leave me your feedback. Please leave me a positive feedback, or reach out to me if you have a problem with your order. I don't have necessarily a big problem with people leaving me negative feedback. I've had over 4,000 transactions on eBay. I always ask for feedback, and I've only had one negative. So it is kind of poking a sleeping bear, right? Because if there's a lot of theory behind no feedback is good feedback, but when you're getting started, you really need that. And I think if you're nice and kind, people will leave you a positive feedback if you just ask, especially if they know you care. So I'm gonna put my contact information on a business card as an insert, and on the back it'll be, please leave us a feedback if you have any issues. Definitely reach out to me so we can make it right. I'm a big fan of doing the right thing over and over again. Not sure where that came from, but that's my plan. Okay, so step 5, get some graphic design done. This is the email I have written to Glenn. So I just want to give you guys an idea of what it looks like. So his email is hustlerhacks1@gmail.com. Hey Glenn, can you quote me for a square husky design, the store banner, the business card, and the sticker? So those are the 4 graphic design things I want. The more information you can provide your graphic designer, the faster they're going to be able to do it with less mistakes and less reiterations. Literally, if you gave Glenn or any talented graphic designer a full list of what you want, their first draft's going to come back pretty close. I mean, that is their job, is to create graphics that match your vision. So what do I want this husky to do? So like I want sort of a happy husky that's sort of hipster. Like think of, Brooklyn or Williamsburg or like LA, some hipster husky. And so I want him to wear sunglasses, and I'm calling him low key husky because I want him to be low key and kind of cool. So that is the brand I'm trying to create. And I think that this is nice because when you're buying something from a person or a brand, it feels nice. It feels like you're supporting a movement. This is something also I wished I had kept in mind when I first started my eBay stores. Instead of being Bob649, that's hard to brand. So being the low-key husky is going to allow me to build a brand around this husky. So basically the concept behind it is I took this from Seth Godin, who's, I believe his wife has a bakery called By the Way. It's an awesome bakery, very successful. And people always ask, "Oh, why is it called By the Way?" And she responds, "By the way, it's also gluten-free." So that's great. It's a great conversation piece, and it's also something that I wanted to model into my business. So what's so low key about my husky? Well, my company is going to focus on providing high quality used goods, creating US jobs, and giving back to the local community. Now, this is not just like a noble thing. Like, I actually am using this as a marketing tool, and also I think I'm going to be able to charge more because I'm having a charity. Sorry for the lawnmower. Um, and that's basically the concept behind um, having. Here, I'm going to actually close my window. Sorry about this. All right. So I'm creating this brand. I'm going to set up all my listings on eBay to include a 10% of the revenue is going to go to Children's Hospital of Oakland. I like Children's Hospitals, so I'm going to pick that charity. You don't have to do a charity in your auction. Most people do not. You can just, if you want to give charity later, it's fine. For me, it's a tax write-off, and it's also a good thing. My sister-in-law is a NICU nurse, and she works with basically preemie babies, and that's rough. So if there's going to be one thing that I like to support, I like that. So this is all optional. You can do whatever you want. I just think that when you have a mission that's greater than your company, it's easier to stay focused, right? So what's so low key about my husky? It's for profit, so I'm not nonprofit. I want to be upfront with people. I want to provide high quality used goods, so I'm into the reduce, reuse, recycle movement. I want to create US jobs. So in my company, I'd like to avoid using VAs and other things unless I have to. Even though it's cheaper, I just like the concept of US jobs staying here. And then giving back to the local community is important to me because I feel like I didn't really have a sense of community growing up, so I want to try to do that. And I live in Oakland, so that's why I'm picking Children's Hospital of Oakland. Okay. I'm going to go ahead and click send. This is live. So I just sent that. Whoa, why was that not sent? Okay, not sure why that's not working, but I will send this email to Glenn shortly. Okay, so step 15, we order some graphic design. I'm going to change this to order some graphic design. It's probably going to take, a week or so for all that stuff to come back. There's a lot of other stuff we need to do while that's going. Okay. So step 16 is create a folder on your browser with everything for easy access. So right here I have a folder called Low-Key Husky. I use Google Chrome. You can use whatever you want, but I'm going to save all these icons in here. So I've saved PayPal in here. Here's my Pinterest. I'm going to click this star right here. I'm going to save this in Low-Key Husky. Yeah, low-key husky, and I'm going to call it Pinterest. Close it. Then I'm going to save Instagram, call it Instagram. I'm going to save Twitter, again, hit the star. I'm going to save Google Drive, which we're going to use in just a second. And I'm going to save this document where I'm going to keep track of all my expenses as expenses. I'm going to save my Facebook page. I'm going to, I guess I could save this. I'm going to save GoDaddy because that's where my domain is hosted. You also get a free website with GoDaddy.com. I don't know how to use that. Maybe I'll use that free builder instead of something like Squarespace or WordPress, which takes a little bit more time and is not important when you're first starting your eBay store. We got to get selling stuff as soon as possible. Cool. So here's my eBay store. You guys can see that I now have 2 feedback. Yesterday I only had 1, so let's see what that feedback is. Looks like eBay Shipping Supplies left me a feedback, and they probably have an automatic thing set up where they leave a feedback as soon as you pay, and that's the kind of stuff that you want to buy. Some people set up their feedback so it leaves after you leave them feedback, but I don't leave feedback as a buyer until I've received the item. So that's that. Okay, now we're going to, you can see that we bought some shipping supplies. This was $32, but we got a $25 shipping coupon towards that, and then our scale for $16.99. So that's what we've done so far in our eBay store. Okay, we've created this folder right now that has everything in it except for eBay. So I'm going to save this as purchase history in eBay and go ahead and close that tab. And this helps me keep my tabs to a minimum. I can click here and go through all the different things that I have. I'm going to go through a lot of tools that help me list faster, etc. later. But for now, we're just going to do 10 things at a time. So we're done. We created the folder and we moved everything in. Okay, step 17. Create a Google Doc to store everything. So go to drive.google.com. I'm going to add that here. Drive.google.com. And then when you get here, you're going to click New, and you're going to make a new spreadsheet. And I just name it my eBay store. So once you set it up, open up a new tab, and this is, I'm going to call it Low Key Husky, Road to $52,000 Income. I use GoDaddy Accounting, which does this automatically, but I think you should probably do this manually in the beginning just so you get an idea of what kind of expenses are involved with eBay. So let's see here. Once you've created the Google Doc, you're actually going to add in all your expenses. So from yesterday, we put some seed money. I'm sorry, I was thinking it was yesterday, but it was just earlier today. Been up for a while. So I put in $100 into my PayPal account from my other account, and I'm going to do $100 from, I'm going to deposit $100 into a bank account today and open that up. And so I put the funding source here as a cool uncle. I actually do not have a cool uncle or cool parents that can help me with this, so I have to do this myself. I'm saying, if you want, you could probably ask a loved one or somebody that you really like or your friend and just say, hey, I really want to do eBay for a living. Can you help me out with $200? I want to get started. That's going to help me buy a few pieces of inventory, get myself set up. Plus, you get some buy-in from somebody who's like, don't be a jerk and waste my money. Actually do it if you say you're going to. So hopefully you can find a cool uncle or a friend to give you $200. Or if you didn't quit your job like I told you not to, you can use your own money to do this. We signed up for an eBay store subscription. It didn't charge us right away. I think it charges either on a certain day each month or once every 30 days. Sorry, I don't know that off the top of my head. That's going to be $20. Everything else has already been paid for. Our receipt for meatballs, which I just put in as R&D. I should actually make that recipe so we can keep this real. Plus, I don't want to recommend feedback padding, which is something people do to get fake feedback on their profile. Like, I don't want to do that. I'm just trying to reduce the amount of money you spend to build up your feedback score, which is going to help people trust you on eBay. So I bought a receipt for meatballs. I'm going to actually make that so that we keep it real. Got our scale, and then we have 200 poly mailers that we purchased. So our goal is to get the 250 items listed this first month. Now, there's no way you could do that without like a guide or somebody helping you. It's not that straightforward. You could try and figure it out all yourself, but hopefully this guide will show you step by step how to get these 250 items on the eBay and get started. Okay, and then the domain, which is the lowkeyhusky.us. Cool. So this is where all the expenses are. I have stored this in here in my folder for easy sourcing. Great. So that's step 17. Step 18 is something I wish I had done when I started, was add a password tab. So here I put in all the different things that I signed up for, and then a reminder on the password. This is obviously not my password, and I have a little notebook that I keep in a safe that has my actual passwords written down. If I had done that when I first started, I would have saved probably 20 hours of time because of trying to figure out what my passwords are. I try to have a different password for every single website, which makes it very challenging. And so, you know, it's tough. You can use a service like 1Password or LastPass. I currently do not do that because I just leave my stuff logged in on my computer. My computer has a password. So that's how I'm sort of pretending like I have some sort of security. But I'm going to be more careful, especially since I'm being more of a public person now. I need to be very careful on this. Take this seriously. Use different passwords. Don't use 1111. Someone's going to jack your life. Cool. Okay, add a password tab. I recommend not putting your actual password in Google, but because if somebody has access and they have your whole life, I keep it in a paper notebook in a safe. So just an idea, you don't have to do that. So we've already added all of these tabs into the folder. That was step 19. And now step 20, I think this one is really cool, and it's been amazing for me. So in a podcast I was watching called Asian Efficiency, they say that if it's not in your calendar, it doesn't exist. And what that means for me is I'm really, really good at following through on things that are on my calendar and I care about. But if it's not on my calendar, I just put it off into oblivion. I just don't get it done. So for me, I'm going to schedule 9 p.m. daily. I'm going to enter all my expenses into the chart. And for me, that is like closure for the day. It's like, I know what I spent today, what I made today. I want to reconcile every day. When you're starting on eBay, you don't have a lot of sales, so you can do that, and it will help you keep a clear mind. And also, if you have a significant other, they're not going to be wondering how much money you're making on eBay or whatever, because that's not that is 100% the highest stress point in my relationship with my girlfriend, is the fact that my finances are not crispy clear. If they were crispy clear, she'd have nothing to worry about. So for the sake of your significant other and not ruining your family while you do this, you should do your expenses every single day. It's going to take under 10 minutes when you're just starting to get this going. If I had done that, I would be much more at peace and I would have slept a lot more, which would have equaled more productivity anyway. So the only thing left for me to do today is to go to Chase and open that bank account with $100. If you like this series, please let me know. Like it below and subscribe to my channel. Maybe share this in a Facebook group with somebody if you think that would be useful. And also, I am going to be creating a side income of $5,000 related to eBay, somehow documenting it on here to show you guys how you can think of creative ways to keep your income the same before you take the leap and go into eBay full time. Again, there's no shortcuts involved with this. It's not a get rich quick scheme. It's like literally get rich, or not even rich, just get a regular working income slowly. So not a really sexy title, but I think this will be great for you to get things rolling on the right path to doing eBay for a living. Thanks, guys.